Hi, welcome to Cooking with Rhonda. Today I'm going to teach you guys something that you've been wanting for a long time, wraps. Take a look over here. Many things we can do with wraps. Today I'm going to show you all this, but first we're going to go to the basics, and the basics are actually going to be the wrap itself. It isn't really hard to make, honestly, and I want you to try it. It takes 15 minutes maybe, start to finish. Watch my ingredients going in. And please don't worry about the ingredients, because you can go to my website, www.you'dneverknow.com, and the recipe will be there for you. So in here, I've got some butter. I've got some water, and the water's actually from the tap. It's warm. It's just warm to the touch. We're putting in the yeast. Just sprinkle it in. I've got some organic cane sugar here. That's also going in. And we got some salt. All you want to do with this here is we're going to give it a stir. I want to dissolve the yeast off. That's all I'm looking for. There, and see, it's just about ready to go here. Okay, so at this point, we need to add the flour mixture. Now the flour, this is your tricky part. Gluten-free, very tough. You don't have wheat flour, what are you going to use? So many different flours out there that you can use. The blend I'm using here is our own actual You'd Never Know all-purpose flour blend. Into it, I am bumping it up with some more xanthan gum. Now I want to give you a word on the xanthan gum. When you cook gluten-free, you have lost your elastic. You have completely lost it, and you've got to figure out, how am I bringing that back in? How will I get the texture and the taste that I'm used to? Xanthan gum's an awesome thing, but you've got to be careful in how much you use. A little goes a long way. Rule of thumb, I'd say use a teaspoon per 3 cups, and you're going to be good with that. This is egg replacer. This is another really nice ingredient that's going to bring your bump back up here. Egg replacer does not replace eggs. It's just giving me an extra texture. Now, I'm just going to mix this up, just like so. And I'm going to slowly add it to my wet mixture. Now, basically, I'm going to put a cup at a time into here. I don't want to overwork it. I'm just eyeballing here, but first little part is going to come in. And we're going to give it a good mix. Don't worry about the lumps. It will be needed later on, so that's not a big deal. Okay, see how it's pulling together? And bring it to this level so you don't see any of the flour lying around anywhere. Let's sprinkle a little bit more in. And do it carefully. If you're doing it the way I am, it's kind of clumsy. You might get the whole thing in there. If you have a cup, maybe use the cup. Okay, watch how it's starting to pull together here now. It's coming a little bit more. I just want to bring this to the point where I'm going to actually be able to use my hands, and we're going to knead it up. One of the really neat things about cooking gluten-free is you don't really have to worry about that rest period and overworking your flour or your doughs, because it doesn't have the elastic. So you're trying to bring the elastic back in. We're going to put a little more flour in again. Take a look, one more step. Pull that back. This probably is going to bring it to the point I want it to be. You're going to get your hands a little bit dirty, but don't worry about that. Let me just pull it together here. Okay, now I'm going in with my hands. Get this out of the way, and just keep working it. Incorporate the flour. It's kind of like a tea biscuit. Like if you're back in the day making tea biscuits homemade, same thing, except again, you're not worrying about overworking your dough. We're going to put it out onto the counter in a minute, and we're going to knead it. This recipe that I'm giving you here is going to make 6 flatbreads or wraps, whatever you want to call them. This recipe can be used for so many different things. You can straight up on the wrap. You can do quesadillas with it. You can do fajitas with it. You can actually toast it off, put some little sprinklings of herbs or garlic, anything you want, and make a nice crisp flatbread out of it. Or just for the kids at school, I get all the time the customers coming in saying, "Oh, Rhonda, please make some wraps. My kids just want to have a wrap for lunch." Well, now I'm showing you how to do it yourself. Take a look here. I'm just pulling it all together now. I've taken it out of the bowl. And I just want to get it to a working level. Still a little bit of flour to come. Don't worry if it starts to stick. We're going to sprinkle more flour down. It's almost there. Take a look what I'm talking about right here. You see it? It's a nice dough. See how fast that came together? Now think about back in the day when you were cooking with the gluten, how much longer this would have taken. Now I'm kind of a hands kind of cook. Not using a lot of science on here. My pieces might be a little bit bigger, might be a little bit smaller, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's all good at the end. Instead of washing more dishes, I'm just using my hand, and I'm going to tear it. And I want 6 balls out of this. Like I said, there'll be different sizes. I'm just doing eyeballing on it. So there. They're getting a little smaller, actually, but that's okay. Okay, so like regular cooking, you always want to flour your surface. Just sprinkle a little bit down on the bottom. Take your disc and press it with your hand, just like that, make it round. That's your starting point. Now I just bought this, so let's see if it's true. It says it's not stick. Don't know. You're gonna go here and you're gonna do a quarter turn. Just bring it around. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to turn on my grill. I'm going to put my grill on to about a 375 degree while I'm rolling these out. One of the things with this particular dough is once it's cooked, it dries out really, really quickly. You're going to want to keep a damp cloth handy and keep it over top of your wraps at all times. So you see how easy this is rolling? The other part to it is you do want to make it as even as possible because you want the wrap to cook evenly all around. If it was really super thick in one area, it'll burn here, it'll be raw here. You don't want that. You want to make it as flat as possible. The other part, this is very forgiving. Don't worry about ripping it. You can just paste it back together. So here, number one's already done. And we should be about a minute before our grill's going to be ready here. Oh, it's cauliflower seed. They call this non-stick. It just stuck. So don't buy and get a good old-fashioned wooden one. It's going to work just as well. So again, like this, turn it around, quarter turn, do it again. Quarter turn and upside down, do it again. And do you see the thickness here? 1/16 maybe? That's what you're looking for. And we're good to go. Number two. Okay, while I'm rolling these, let's see, is this hot? Don't do this at home. I'm a chef. I have no fingertips left. I can do this. Don't do it at home. It's not quite ready. But here we go. There's another one here. Oops, there we go again. Okay. Well, these are rolling like this and I'm heating up. I can finish this in a bit. I want to show you something really fast. I'm going to grab a cookie sheet here. We're making wraps, but we're also going to make crispy flatbreads. Crispy flatbread is the same thing. My wrap, I'm spraying onto here, a cooking spray. I'm going to cook 2 minutes aside, which I'll show you. In the meantime, I can also make crackers out of this. I take it and put it right on the sheet, straight up on the sheet like that. And I take some egg wash, which I've got here. The egg wash I'm putting on for two reasons. I want to make this shiny, but also I want whatever I'm going to herb or whatever I'm putting on top to stick to it. So this is a fast, easy way that you're going to use your wraps secondary. I've got here some sesame seeds I'm sprinkling on, just like that. I've got some pepper and a bit of salt. You know what? I always tell you guys, cooking's very personal. Go with your flavors. If you like tarragon, throw it on. If you like garlic, throw it on. This is your tapestry. You make it to be what you want. This is going to go into the oven at 400 degrees for 8 minutes. You're going to get a lovely flatbread at the end. So let's pop that here, and in the meantime, yeah, that's ready to go. So watch this. This is going on. I want you to keep a good eye on here. It's going to start getting little bubbles. You know the real deal with the wraps, and you see all the little brown bubbles? That's what's happening underneath here right now. So just keep an eye on that one, and I'm continuing to roll here. Get another one on here. This recipe, as I said, makes 6 wraps. These, by the way, freeze fantastic. You can make yourself a bunch of wraps, throw them in the freezer. When you do so, take parchment paper, layer it in between each of the wraps, get a Ziploc bag, get the air out of it, and it will last a good 6 weeks in your fridge. When you go to use them, one of your tricks is going to be to put it into the microwave for 15, 20 seconds maybe. It will be soft and pliable, just like the day you made them. So here, we're popping this on here. And you see, remember I told you about being forgiving? I made a little hole there, and I'm just pressing it. That's all I'm doing. Okay, we're up at 400 degrees here. And here you don't want to overcook it, because if you go past the 2-minute point, what's going to happen, they won't be pliable. They will not be pliable at all. They will end up being too hard. So it may be good for quesadilla, but it won't be good for something like a wrap, like a tuna salad wrap. So while these are cooking, I'm going to clean up my mess here, and when we get back, we're going to make some chicken quesadillas. Welcome back. For those of you that are just joining us, our episode today is about wraps, all the things we can do with wraps and how to make them. Well, take a look here. Before the break, this is one of the things we did. We've made flatbreads out of this, crispy crackers. This is awesome to enjoy with some nice cheese, a glass of wine. It's a really nice crisp flatbread that a lot of people miss when you have to start eating gluten-free, actually, is the pleasantries of food. Like, food is the staff of life. You share it with family and friends, and now you can do it again. The other thing we did was our wraps. Now take a look what I was talking about. See them? All the brown bubbles, that's what you want. And look at how nice and pliable it is. That's exactly what you want. Remember, when you're doing your wraps, 2 minutes aside, that's it. Take a wet cloth, make sure it's laid over top so that they stay nice and moist. Okay, so next, what I want to show you is something really delicious. It's an easy meal, and it is fun to make. You can get the kids involved in it if you want. We're going to do some chicken quesadillas. Now, I'm saying that, but if it's kids that are getting involved, I don't know if they want the French brie. My selection here is just, this is me. I'm talking to you. This is what I like. I love chicken breast. I love roasted red peppers. I love brie, the mushroom taste of the brie, and all three of this goes together really, really lovely. Simple. All I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of cheese on each wrap, and actually, you know what? I'm just going to take them out just like this and move this out of the way. Here we go. So we're going to take a piece of cheese on each one. We're going to take some of the chicken breast. Now, what I did was, for this recipe, like I said, don't worry about it. You can find it online, www.you'dneverknow.com. I've taken 2 6-ounce chicken breasts. I'm using the chicken breast because I really am into eating lean foods, and chicken breast, the best to use. You can just cook it off in the oven for 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to put maybe 3 slices on here, just like that. On this side as well. The 2 chicken breasts, 6 ounces each. You're giving yourself 3 ounces of chicken per quesadilla. And I've got 1.5 ounces of the brie here. Next, we're going to put 3 slices of roasted red pepper. Here now, this is going to go back on the grill that we actually cooked the wraps on. But this time, you do want to spray it. Really important, because you want that crisp coating. So a good cooking spray, just pop that on there. We're going to fold this right in half. And we're going to pop it on there. You can hear it sizzle. I'm going to do it for about 2 to 3 minutes aside. Now see how imperfect it is, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect in life, and look at that. The only trick you're going to have here is when you're actually going to be flipping it over, your cheese might ooze out, but it doesn't matter. Crispy brie is nice as well. I'm going to lower this a bit because I've had it on for a while now, so we're at 350. A couple minutes, we're going to go back to that. While that's cooking, I want to talk to you. Oh, by the way, I made some mango salsa. This is yummers. This here is a mango, very ripe mango. It's got some brown sugar, it's got some orange juice, and it's got a little bit of a bite, cayenne pepper. 10 minutes, stir it, bring to a boil, 10 minutes, stir it, good to go. This is a beautiful, beautiful accompaniment to the mushroom taste of the brie and the chicken. It goes really nice instead of just the salsa and the sour cream. But then again, what did I say? If you're making it for the kids aren't interested in brie, cheddar cheese, whatever you want, salsa, doesn't matter. Make it your own. That is your cooking vessel there. These ingredients are mine. You decide what you want to put in it. While that's cooking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you really fast here. A tuna salad, because that's something else you can do. Your wraps, you can make awesome tuna salad. Here, I use yellowfin. That's my choice. It's a nicer, don't use just the white chunk. It's not really a nice one. Tuna, by nature, is really dry and really boring. We're going to bump up some flavors here. I don't know if we talked earlier, but if I did, I'm repeating myself. Really important, when you're gluten-free, you lose so much fiber, you lose so much protein. Always think about that, whatever you're cooking. How can I bring that back in? What can I do? Well, this one in particular, I'm using avocado. Now, why I'm using the avocado, it's got 10 grams of fiber for 1 cup diced. Like, that's loaded. That is awesome. For a day, I think you need 24 grams of fiber is what your daily requirement should be. So just off the get-go, 10 grams is pretty darn good off this. You can eat a whole avocado yourself. If you say, you know what, I'm really worried about the fat, don't. It's the good fat. It's not the bad fat. It's got omega-3, so that's good. Now, this is the other thing I want to show you. This is not an imperfect avocado. You want the softness, you want the ripeness. You see the brown? It's okay. It's going to go away. We're putting lemon juice in there. It's not affecting the flavor. It's not affecting anything. I want the softness because this is replacing actually the mayo. You know how you make a normal tuna salad and you put mayo into there? use the avocado. It's just bumping up, giving you a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to the nutrition. So I've just scooped it out like that. Be careful with the little seed at the top, make sure it doesn't go in. And here, I'm just mushing it up like this. And I don't know about you guys at home if you multitask, but that's the story of my life. Let's just take a look here. Go back to this and see what's happening. Yeah, look at how nice and golden brown that is. That's good to go, so I'm flipping it. Now the trick is that I want the cheese to melt. So we're gonna go another 3 minutes maybe on that side, and that'll be ready to go. In the meantime, we're back here. Take a look. We're mushing that all together. I've got for this lemon zest. Lemon zest actually has stronger lemon flavor than the lemon juice itself. But as I said earlier, tuna is really, really dry. Moisture's come in with the avocado. I've got the lemon zest going in to bump the flavor up on that. Mixing that all in. Come on over here and see what I got going. I've got the juice from the lemon as well, okay? Just because I want that extra moisture. Not only that, but in here I put the avocado, which will oxidize. With the lemon juice, it'll stop that browning effect. So see, the moisture's all coming back in here now. Okay, now we've spoken about the lack of fiber, so here we got the protein, the fiber from the avocado, which also, it has 3 grams of protein in an avocado, so you got protein as well. I've taken a nice apple, Honeycrisp apple here. It's tart to taste. I've left the skin on. Again, fiber. Take a look at the dice there. It gives a nice crunch. I find food's really boring when it's all one texture. If it's all mush, it doesn't work for me. So I've got some crunch going in here. Should offset that. Continue to mix that up. There we go. And parsley. Putting some parsley in. Salt and pepper for the taste. And this actually, you know what? You could serve this on just lettuce if you wanted to have a nice tuna salad. But for me, I thought this is really nice for a wrap. There we go. And let's just go back to that. This is actually ready to go. So you see how fast and easy that was? And that's what you're looking for. You've got the moisture, you got the flavor, it's delicious, it's got the crunch, and it's got the protein and the fiber you need here. Okay, we'll take a look here. That's going to be another minute or so. But you know what? I think I'm going to get ready to make the wrap here for you guys. When you come back, we're moving on to the tuna salad wrap, and we'll be cutting into these quesadillas. See you soon. Okay, well, welcome back. Now take a look here. Quesadillas